And Neela has called on Alden. Hey.
Right. And so I thought this is a new one. Screen has come up here. Okay, I don't know what happened, but normally I just, okay, I'm going to see if I can pull up Photoshop. Okay, that does it. That does it. Okay, so there's
Oh,
a view, a sky view, satellite view of Providence downtown. The
Yeah.
lower left is where the Fleet Library is, that where I'm going to be delivering my fashion illustration work next Monday. In fact, that's where I'll be next Tuesday as well, taking a couple of days in Providence to explore the city again. The upper middle red circle indicates where I lived for a couple of years, my sophomore and junior years at RISD. And the red one at the right is where I spent my freshman year in a dorm. And so that was my campus. As you can see, this area here is the quadrangle, so to speak, where the girls' dorms were. There were some other male dorms up this street here, and I've forgotten where else. But anyway, this is the general area. The nature lab where I did nature drawings is here on Waterman Street. Big First Baptist Church of America is over here. Very elegant New England, you know, uh, church with a great steeple. It's right across, the way there. But and there's the school, basically offices right there. And so this will be the area that I'll be actually walking through again in another week and experiencing and probably remembering some of my miseries when I was going to school there. And it'll be it's something I'm really looking forward to. It's a great thrill to think that I
Good.
have a bunch of stuff in a library that, where I went to school. So,
Nice.
Lucky you. That sounds like fun.
Right.
yeah, it'll be fun. So that's all I have to show today, really.
Okay.
yeah.
Just
Providence, Rhode Island.
Providence, Rhode Island. Yes.
Oh.
Well, that'll be a nice visit.
Oh, and one of the nice coincidences is that I have a friend here in town. His name is Jordan Rockford, who, when we met years ago, came up to me and said, "Are you Alden Cole?" And I said, "Yes." It was one of the few times that's happened. He had seen my work, some of my lamps in the window of friends on Pine Street. Anyway, we've become good friends over the years. And he is actually, he's been partnered with a guy for about 4 or 5 years now who got a part-time job at RISD teaching, but has been, and now has a full-time job there. And so Jordan, who has been teacher and a dean at University of the Arts, decided for a career change, and he's going to move to Providence, and he just got a position as, I think, the dean of admissions at Brown. So both these younger men, they're in their 40s, are doing well. And I'm hoping that while I'm there next Tuesday, that I may possibly get to see them, because they're actually going to be moving my friend Jordan's worldly goods from here in Philly on Sunday up to up to Sun. Yes, on just before
Alden,
yeah.
I didn't realize that RISD and Brown are almost back to back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they really are. It's
Yeah, I didn't know that.
very interbred, so to speak. And
Yeah.
What is RISD? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
Rhode Island School of Design, probably one of the foremost art schools in the country that I had no idea about when I applied. I was totally innocent, so I didn't care. I was indifferent as to whether I got accepted or not, because going to an art school was not a passion that I had since I was 5 years old. It was a pure accident that was really the result of a guidance counselor asking me, "So Alden, did you ever think about going to an art school? You did really well, and you did really well in the Iowa test last year. Maybe some of you also took the Iowa test, those aptitude tests back in the 60s."
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah. I think we all did.
yeah, I did
No, not everybody.
well, you're right, not you because you were here, but they were standard pretty much for here.
Yeah.
So when he asked me this question, I sort of looked at him like, no. I'm like, why would I consider going to an art school? That sounds kind of stupid to me. And he says, so what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to go to the University of Maine, or if I can get into Bowdoin College, I'm going to major in math and probably become a math teacher. Because I had no clue about, pursuing a career in art. So it was one of the most fluke-like changes. When I was about to leave, he said, would you at least like to look at some catalogs for some art schools? And instead of saying, nah, I'm good, I said, sure, why not? And it's been the story of my life. So
Oh, wonderful.
there it is. Yeah.
That counselor deserves credit.
Yes, he
she
does. I
Yes, she
think he
does.
recognized that I was a little different and I might not need to go to the University of Maine and major in math.
Wow.
That's a great story.
That is a great
Great
story.
Yeah.
That is a great story.
Thank God for the people, mentors in our lives.
Mhm.
Yeah.
People doing their job.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Expanding
Oh.
minds.
Yeah. Alden, I have a question about math.
Sure.
Do you still keep up with math in any way?
I still certainly use it, finding proportions, et cetera, and things like that. But
Right.
so I guess it's basically just some algebra. The other stuff, not so much. I certainly don't know calculus or any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the time I excelled. It was a discipline that I somehow just got into and had an understanding of its abstract nature. And
Right.
at this point, it's like Greek to me.
Oh.
pretty much.
Fascinating. Really. I bet it helps with cutting mats too.
Yeah.
Of course, of course, yes. Absolutely.
Some of us, think that's terrific.
Yeah.
Oh, all of us, I think.
All right.
Very nice. Thanks.
Thank
Alden.
you.
Thank you.
Doris, would you like to go next?
Sure. Okay. Whoops. Should we go up here? All right. We'll start with this. This is a watercolor of a wedding invitation. It's very small.
Nice, nice. Very
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Yes,
Lovely.
lovely.
Sweet part.
Did you do the typography too?
Oh no, it's over a wedding invitation.
It's over a wedding.
Type.
I
type
see.
on it. It was painted over. Yeah.
I see the lettering underneath.
Yeah.
Yes.
In colors, is this watercolors?
This is watercolor. This is the wedding venue that they
Very nice.
It's an interest as a graphic designer. I've got to say the guy's been totally wiped out practically. It just shows her name.
No, but she
and
just put it on top of the existing.
Yeah.
what's his name? Kyle. It's funny. It could have been squeezed up just a little higher, but that's just one of those graphic design things. Having been there and made my living, I see it. Yeah.
Well, I kind of have to work with what I'm given. So
Right,
yeah.
right.
The house is magnificent.
It
Yeah,
is, it really is.
Right.
Is that where the wedding was held or where they were going to live?
No, this is where the wedding is being held. The wedding didn't happen yet.
It's
There are
Okay.
several buildings that are in this estate.
very nice.
Yeah.
Special events. There's a lot of places like that. It's in the Lancaster area.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, one of the houses at Valley Forge looks like this.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess it's that time period, the late 1700s. Very nice.
Is it? Is
They're
it? It's
pretty old.
1700s, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There
I
are
think-
old houses in the city of Philadelphia that do this.
Oh,
Even at, right.
yeah.
Yeah, this place
Very nice.
has a lot of property and stuff, and my mom did it for my mom. So
Oh, how nice.
yeah. I've been doing these things for years.
Nice.
So people bring you those invitations and then you color them in?
No, I did painting on it. I didn't color it.
Yeah, there's watercolors, Nina.
Yeah,
work-
but it was already printed in black and white?
And the wedding invitation with the words and everything was there.
Okay,
The building, the artwork is what I painted.
But
okay. I didn't understand.
you painted an original that was then reproduced on.
No, it's not. It's right on the. I painted right on the actual.
Oh, so
wedding.
there's only one actual copy of that then.
It's,
Ah.
yeah, right on the wedding.
Okay, okay.
This is
I like what we're seeing, Doris. I think it's
Mhm.
Nice.
a
it's
very
really lovely, very
painting
lovely.
photo I'm going to show in a minute. This was a very quick, expressive watercolor painting. I did it.
I think I like it a lot.
Thanks. Yeah.
Lovely.
You know, it captures the fall as well with the colors and the leaves on the ground, and it's a very evocative thing.
Mhm.
Is this
Yeah,
new, Doris? Is this something from your head, or is it something?
No, I'm going to show you the photo that this is from.
Oh, okay, the reference
Yeah.
photo.
So this is, this was a very quick method. But we said it like after doing the wedding invitation, I'm going to do something like fast and more expensive. And done it in like a couple hours, I guess. It's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't know, something like that. Quick painting. Yeah.
Pepper.
Sometimes you just need to loosen up and just get the colors out. So,
No.
what happened there? Okay.
Oh,
here's-
I took you down,
okay.
Doris.
I'm going to show you the photo.
Okay, love to see the photo.
This was my favorite photograph I took when taking a bike ride.
Okay.
So,
Boy,
something
that is a nice
Well,
photo.
You know, it's a nice photo, Doris, but you've done a Hockney. I don't mean your painting is like Hockney. It's what Hockney does. He sees through the landscape to something unique, which I'm not able to do. But that's what you've done, I think. It's a nice photo, but I like what you've done a lot
Mhm.
with it.
Yes, exactly.
And I've seen Hockney do that. There's something on YouTube called Painting November, and you see how he composes everything. He sees right through reality into some other zone of art,
okay.
which I think you've done. Yeah, I think you've done that here.
I just kind of like the contrast of the fence,
Hmm.
trees, and then it was just like path in the middle, it's, yeah. And the little cows there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little black and white cows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lichtensteins.
Hmm.
The fence, you didn't want to touch that fence. It was actually electric fence.
Oh,
Oh,
Of the fence,
well,
yeah.
they all are now, aren't they?
Found it, so they definitely didn't want people going in there.
Holy mackerel, an electric fence?
Yeah, you remember I went to the Cloudcroft and there was a little wire.
Yeah.
And I just did
Fire.
it out of politeness, but it was an electric wire for the deer.
Yeah.
I grew up
Otherwise, I
with
would
them.
have been electrocuted.
On the farm in Maine. I grew up with them as well. I mean, this is back in the 50s. It was a way they wouldn't have to wire a fence with 3 strands of regular wire.
Right,
They
right.
could just wire it with a single strand and electrify it. And cows would come up to it and they'd probably put their nose to it and get shocked, or they'd
Yeah.
rub against it. And so they would stay away from it. So
Right.
they've been doing this for quite some time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't think they'll die though.
No, it's a mere, I've touched it. It's a merely unpleasant shock that says, I don't want to touch that again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't about.
It's not as bad as it sounds, really. They do it with the horses
It
around.
won't kill you. No.
Yeah.
It's an
That's
unpleasant
not the
shock.
point with the whole herd.
I don't think they want to kill their cows. Yeah,
No.
but they also probably don't want people going over the fence and being in the field with the cows either.
Mm, mhm.
Yeah, keep people out. So yeah,
I like the faintness of the tracks
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
going off a distance. They're not ruts,
Mm.
but it's very faint.
Suggested road rather than a definite one.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
vehicle of some sort, maybe just a tractor drove along there or something.
Sure. Pickup trucks.
Yeah. Because it really wasn't, it was just grass. I mean, so I'm assuming something must have been driving on there. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
I had a family member who used a wired yard to control their two dogs, and they put the dogs on. They put collars on the dogs, so that
Right.
anytime the dogs got up to that fence, they would
Yes.
feel it.
Yes.
But the problem is, one of the dogs' collar broke and
Oh.
could go past it, and it traumatized the dogs.
Oh,
The one dog would get hurt when it went up, and the other dog was and it messed the two dogs up really bad.
Oh,
poor guys.
I
Wow.
like the rock fence. You know, the old fashioned rock fence.
Oh, right, right. You mean
Yeah.
stone walls, stone walls.
walls.
Well,
Yeah,
Yes.
they have them. Yeah, they have them here too.
they're pretty.
Mending fence.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Doris. That was
Thank you,
fun.
Doris.
Thanks, Doris.
Bob, do you have anything to share? Or,
Yes,
yeah?
just I didn't think I was going to, but because this is the last thing I was working on before COVID. This is
Nice.
a picture of a guy looking at damage to his swimming pool. The side of the swimming pool's collapsed, and he wrote and he asks, "Well, how much am I going to cost?" And it's probably going to cost 15,000 to
Oh,
repair that.
stop. Oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I thought they were your feet, Bob.
Pardon?
I thought they were your feet.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's a very Hockney type thing. I think that's a
No, I
beautiful
agree.
image.
I saw that as well. It's a very Hockney image.
Yeah.
And just the colors as well.
It's
You know, I
lovely.
think I think
Yeah.
it's actually beautiful.
Yeah.
As it
Yeah.
is. Gorgeous.
So here's the original image on the left,
Yeah.
and then there's a kind of an AI generated frame that I don't think came out very well. But all right, let me go in a little bit. This is the only thing I have, so I'll spend a moment.
Cool.
Oh,
And that's my,
interesting.
and that's the last thing I was working on before
Oh
COVID came to
my,
visit.
oh gosh.
Pretty snazzy sneakers, I'll say that.
Absolutely.
That's a good title, too.
Yeah.
Sneakers.
Snazzy sneakers.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Wow, Bob.
Thank you.
Kim, you want to go?
Thank you, Neela. I'm going to ask Bob to be kind enough to show my work.
Yes.
I'm a little sort of not quite all together because I've run through 3 computers that I've had to return in a week.
Oh, no.
Ooh,
And as Brian, I'll show you, this came tonight. This is the 4th. So can you see it?
Here we go.
Yes.
But we
see
have
your
your
work.
work. Yeah.
So I hope that I'll be able to get myself together. But anyway, for those who weren't here last week, I don't know if there's anyone here that, well, Alden, you weren't here last week. I did a photo shoot in Portofino, Italy, in the Italian Riviera. But I went to England first. But because I'm discombobulated, I'm doing the Italian Riviera first and not doing it chronologically, which
Gotcha.
is a little upsetting to me because I like to do things in order. But anyway, it's dessert first, as I said. And thank you very much, Bob. I really appreciate that you're helping me out.
All right.
You can go
Do
the one you
you
want to
see
go
those
to.
three? You see those 3 images, right?
4.
Four,
There are 4
four,
images.
Four.
4 images. All
Yes.
right. What shall I start with, Kim?
Let's just start from the left and move to the right, and then the bottom one.
Wow.
Okay, so this. Okay, so last week I just showed a photo as a photo, but then this week I had time to do some style transfer, and actually I did a few different versions of this. And this is, I think, I'm calling this Portofino because it looks like Portofino, but I actually think it was a different town, which I don't remember what it was. And the story is about all these crazy colors because they're all facing the sea, the Mediterranean. And in Argentina, La Boca is a section which also has crazy colors, but it comes with a different story. But let me tell you this story. The story is that when the sailors were, trawling for fish, they would be able to spot which house was theirs by which color it was. So if you saw a house that's orange, you said, oh, good, my house is okay. There's no earthquakes, nothing's happened, no one's attacked it. So it was a way for the sailors to distinguish their houses from each other. But for me, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I've never seen anything like this.
It's remarkable. Let me comment on the lower left.
Lower
It
right,
looks like a lower right. I mean, it looks like a grotto or
yes,
something.
yes,
Yes, it does.
yes.
Lower.
Yes, this whole thing is built into a hill. So it wouldn't surprise me that there were grottos because there's on the side of a hill. And to
Can-
get up to the top, you have to go up millions of stairs. And one of these days I'll show you the stairs because just millions and millions of stairs in this Italian Riviera. And may I say, the Italian Riviera is so different from the French Riviera. And think about who lived in the French Riviera. Matisse, for example. I don't know, maybe Alden can help us. Did the Italians have an impressionist school from the Riviera, from that south? Of course, in Italy's case, it would be the north of Italy, and in France's case, it would be the south of France. But I'm not specifically aware of a school of art that focused on the Italian Riviera.
Not that I know of either.
No,
Mm-mm.
I'll do some more research in it. But that was
That orange house way on the top, the orange one,
yes.
does that have a private elevator or something?
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
I doubt it.
No.
I doubt it. I think these are historical things, and you can't really do anything in them. I think so.
Probably circular steps in some of them.
I don't know. I wasn't able to go inside them, but I know that they were very, very steep. I mean, it was all very steep. And
It almost looks like there's houses on top of the roofs. I'm not sure what I'm seeing.
no, actually, that's a good point, Arlene. What they are is that's the hillside, right?
Perspective.
Actually,
It's-
Oh, okay. Okay.
so steep, you can't imagine how steep they are, that they built into the hillsides going up the mountain. So no, that's not, I mean,
Okay.
maybe one house has something on it, but what you see in the distance is the other houses on the hill, on the huge hill.
Okay.
The
Got
whole
it.
thing is,
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible color.
isn't it
Yeah.
incredible? Now, in Argentina, Walcott has shown you La Boca, which is kind of like that. And their explanation in La Boca in Argentina is that the people who lived in these areas were so poor that whatever paint was available, they used. That was the explanation there. Here,
Hmm.
the explanation
Well,
is,
that makes sense.
yeah, that makes total sense. And here the explanation we were told was that the sailors could tell their house was okay. They could look around the horizon and say, "Oh, that's my house. It's all in good shape."
Like,
Remarkable. And the sky,
Yeah.
uh,
I was very lucky. I was so blessed. Having been in the rain and monsoon rain in London many times, to go to Italy and just have, oh, it was magical. That's the only way I can say it. It was magic. So I want you to share my magic. So, um,
can you go into that grotto-like piece closer?
yeah, let me,
Stylized.
it does look like a little boat, doesn't it? Somewhere in there.
To the right, Bob, to the
Yeah,
right.
to the right. It looks like a little boat, doesn't it? Or something.
There it is.
Yeah, there are some boats there.
hmm.
You know, Bob, if this was a Just Don't Fall shot, believe me. Think about
Yeah,
it. Think how steep it was.
yes, very nice. Do you want me to get up
Yes,
the next one?
sure. We can do the next one. Sure. Okay, this is part of that same expedition, which is called the Cinque Terre, which I think stands for 5 villages or something. And they're all on these very steep hillsides. And so this one you approach from the train station and you get a view of the beach. And the reason I love the shot is there's no one on the beach or hardly anyone on the beach. So it's not a sort of beachy shot. It's more of an arty shot, in my opinion.
Right.
So I give it to you with that in mind. No one is there. Don't ask me why. I mean, I was there about noon, so you would have thought people would be on the beach, and it was a lovely day, but no one was there. It was, I think the place is called Monterosa.
Odd colors on the umbrellas. I mean,
Yeah.
those are not complementary colors at all.
I
Well,
beg the dipper, they are. Red and green are the complementary colors.
I don't know. I stay out of that because I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, that's why the red is so intense, because of the green.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? I actually took two. There was one side of the beach had blue umbrellas, but today I thought, no, I'm going to show the red because I just feel like it. So, but I thought it was an unusual kind of beach shot, actually. So I
It's the
offered
endless
a nice
umbrellas.
thing.
It's like hundreds of umbrellas.
And
Yeah.
they're all the same. And they're all the same. It must be very
They're not being
expensive.
used
Yeah, but it must be very expensive for whoever made this beach.
to keep.
And I was on the top looking over. I mean, that's an expensive umbrella. The whole thing is expensive.
Yeah.
Think about that. You hardly ever see something like that, matching umbrellas for a mile.
Yeah, really.
okay, Kim, shall I go to the next one?
Sure. Sorry, please.
Ah,
Well, you know how I like to look in windows and shop windows and so forth and so on. This is in a town called Rapallo, which is the next town from Santa Margherita. And its advantage over Santa Margherita is it's bigger, so you're more likely to find a good deal in a hotel, which is why so many people I met said they were going to Rapallo. I was going to Santa Margherita, which has 10,000 people. I think these guys have 40,000 people, something like that. But they have the most really, I think, delightful and delicious shop windows. And if you look in the shop window, you'll see what was, reflected in the shop window. That's the street, the other side of it. And as I say, what really, really gets me about this whole Italian Riviera thing is just a stunning, stunning color. I mean, maybe, I mean, I've been to Sardinia, I've been to Sicily, I've been everywhere, but I haven't seen this kind of thing before. This staggering color. I haven't seen.
It is.
Isn't
I
it?
like that little
Beautiful.
still life in the corner
Yeah.
with the two bottles and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
you know, just brilliant. What can I tell you?
The shine.
It's fabulous.
nice job.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
All
the
right,
last
the
one,
last
the last one is looking through an archway into Rapallo. In other words, there's a beach, and then you go from the train station, and all roads lead to the beach. And then this is from the beach area, the promenade, looking into Rapallo. This is what it looks like, this town. And
Wow.
it's absolutely delightful. I just scratched the surface of this thing, and I'm going back for sure. And I don't know. I mean, that's the magic of the whole thing. So I have many other shots. I can only show you 4 today, but um,
Beautiful.
I hope you feel like you've been on a mini vacation without the aggravation.
Yes.
Lovely, Kim. Really nice.
Oh, grazie.
Well,
Grazie.
not quite a vacation, Kim.
What's Oh, right. You know, I actually never sat on the beach and just vegged and enjoyed it. I was always on a mission. You know what I'm saying? And you're right, Sarah. I was always walking everywhere and saying, I want a photo shoot. I mean, that's how I define myself. I'm on a
Right.
photo shoot.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
I
Yeah.
love how that green foliage in the upper left corner turned out. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Glorious, glorious colors, glorious views.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, what can I say to you? If you want me to really say something to you, I looked up how much it would cost, actually, because my sister adores Italy and she feels that in another life she was Italian. And you can actually buy apartments in Rapallo for between, say, $88,000 and $130,000.
Oh,
Now,
I'm
you and I
moving.
know that there's very little in America that you can buy. Would you agree? Would you
Mm.
for that price?
Arlene, I will send you a postcard.
Okay. You move
I actually took photographs. That's one of the things I did, was to go to the real estate places and take photographs for my sister. Because why? I mean, she has kids. They could all pool together and buy a place, you know, for 88,000 or 100,000, 135,000 in
Does it
Rapallo.
have air conditioning, Kim?
Well, yes. I mean, I would imagine if you bought a place, you could see. I'm not an air conditioning person. I don't like it. So I'm sure that you could buy an air conditioner and shove it in somewhere. But can you imagine? Are you listening to what I'm saying? I mean,
Yes.
that is. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm getting on in years, so I'm trying to get out of real estate, not in real estate.
Kim,
Yeah.
I'll have a check in the mail tomorrow.
Well, you know, it's very sad, but I actually deleted. I would have shown you the properties for 88,000, the ads that I took from my sister, right? But between 135 and actually Santa Margarita, where I was, is more expensive. It's more like 250, 350,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
Palo, because it's much bigger, has many more deals. In fact, when I go back, I'll stay in Rapallo because I can get a 4-star hotel for $100 a night.
Wow.
Think about that, as opposed to where I did stay, which was perfectly fine, but it wasn't a 4-star hotel. It was more than $100 a night.
Wow.
But it was magical. The whole trip was magical, and Italy was the icing on the cake. So I'm showing you dessert first, which is not what I do in life.
You know what defies my expectations is the pavement.
Yeah.
Remember when Mick used to be on, he would describe how he was going to the pavement was almost never black or gray. He he had to make the pavement out of colors. But here you have this bright blue.
Yeah.
It's probably my saturation thing. Actually, I didn't even process this. I think I just used the camera, I think, because I've done so many versions of it. But I think that what they have is probably what they call bluestone, which, if you photograph it and saturate it, it brings up the blue. But the colors, well, exactly as you see the colors, that's how the colors are there.
Oh, fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, really.
I mean, you know what I mean? It opens your eyes to the world. You think, oh, I can't go live in Italy because it's so expensive. No, it's not. If you can buy a place for 88,000 or 100,000 or 125,000, that's a whole lot better than you can get here in America.
Who wants to move?
Huh?
Yeah.
Who wants to move?
Right.
Or
Well,
learn a new language.
I wouldn't move, but I would stay there a month a year, or a couple of months a year. I would.
Mhm.
I'm not joking. I don't joke because I live in Buenos Aires for
It's
2
good that
months.
you have those options. Most of us don't.
Yeah.
Well, how do you mean? I mean, it's not
To
expensive.
buy another house.
I don't
No,
have the
no, I'm not buying. No, Alden. I'm saying I'm not buying another house.
Well, you're buying.
That was for my sister with her kids.
Right.
But it's not expensive to live there for a month or 2 weeks. It's not expensive at all.
Go for
I'll
it.
tell you where it's expensive. If you want me to tell you? It's America.
Yeah.
Food is cheap, trains
Yes.
are cheap. All the things that you need to live are cheap in Italy. Really, it's amazing.
Well, looks like you had a great time.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't mean to proselytize, but what can I do? I
I
just
love-
feel
I
that
love the
I just feel
smell.
that often people don't know that there are alternatives, and they think the only thing is Florida for $4,000 a month, and that's cheap. If you want to rent something, you have to beg to get that.
Well, we love seeing the pictures, Kim.
Yep.
Very
Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank you, Kim.
color.
Yeah, really great.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope you had a little mini vacation with me.
Yes.
Thank you.
And as you often say to other people, Kim,
Yes.
I think those would look beautiful, real large on a wall.
Yes.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh, bless you. I think I'll take your advice.
Yes.
Once I'm set up with my computer and, whatever.
That'll be
It
good.
takes a lot of focus and concentration to get all that stuff together, but I will in the winter. I will when I go back to Philadelphia because it's going to be cold outside, so I'll have nothing else. to
Yeah,
do.
it'll give you something to do.
Right. It's a project, right? Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Ted, would you like to show some work?
Sure. Well, I don't know why all these images are here, but let me try to make them smaller. You are,
thing.
okay, anyway, here's, these are 3 pieces I'm kind of happy with at the moment, which is kind of rare for me.
Oh, wonderful. I'm glad. Well, I'm very glad you're happy, Ted. And I think that's beautiful. I can see why you would be happy.
Great color.
Yeah. And great
And-
shapes, actually.
Yeah, this is, Bob may like this because I actually gave it a title. It's reading from left to right. I called it Dawn to Dusk.
Ah,
Mhm.
The
That's
color.
a good title. That's a good title.
it is
Yeah.
the horizontal line that goes across the center. That looks as if it's a fold.
It
Yeah,
I
does.
was going to say the exact same thing.
I did
Yeah.
that on purpose, yes.
And I think that's the
It's
interesting
effective.
thing about it.
Yeah. I didn't like it before, but then I started fooling with it, then it worked out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that it looks like a fold.
Yeah,
And yeah,
2 folds actually, yes.
2 folds, exactly.
This
oh,
one,
Oh,
All right.
I think that's very trendy. very
That
avant-garde,
is
I might say.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
This
nice.
is different for you.
Say
I
again?
love that.
That's different for you, Ted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is different, yeah.
I've been playing around a little bit.
I really think that's very, I mean, I've used it. It's very avant-garde. It's very trendy. Why I keep saying trendy. That's what.
It's to me, it's very like being in the ocean. It's
Yeah,
Ah,
Yeah, I see a boat form.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's
a
different
wave. I see a wave. I
photograph.
see a wave.
Yeah, yeah.
I see an eye.
Yeah,
Well,
without the pupil.
if you're looking down at it, this could be the boat here, and this could be the sail. If you're looking down at
Yes.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. So if
Yeah.
you made a horizontal composition,
Mhm.
it.
yeah, it might look more interesting.
Oh, I don't know. I like it like that.
I like the colors. I think they really work in this one.
I
They
do.
do.
I do too. I think they're wonderful.
the colors are surprising. I bet no one else has ever combined those colors.
Probably not. Only
You know,
I could do that.
yep.
And the last one,
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You know,
Angel.
the thing about the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail was actually a chalice.
Right.
This is what this looks like to me, of what a chalice looks like.
interesting. I never
Yeah.
thought of that one.
No, I think it's the Dan Brown novels. I think they were very big.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and one of the novels is they're finding the Holy Grail, and I never knew what the Holy Grail was. We think it's wisdom, but apparently it's the chalice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it has both psychological as well as physical attributes.
I see.
I mean, it can be seen as a chalice, but ultimately, I think the whole idea behind the whole seeking of the Holy Grail is the pursuit of wisdom.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. That's what I always thought it
That's
was. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But-
and then the vessel becomes the person.
Exactly.
I see. Well, Ted, that gives you an idea for a title.
Yeah.
I chose these colors to make it more meditative.
Yeah, they are.
This would look
Yeah.
nice.
Well, you obviously succeeded, right? Because we're rambling on about chalices.
So,
Okay, a photograph I took. I was coming back from Trader Joe's and I was just coming up 21st Street to my apartment. And the cloud, you won't even appreciate the photograph. It was just a remarkable cloud formation.
oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It was quite,
yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
wonderful.
Yeah, it puts the buildings in shadows almost, in black and white almost.
Mhm.
right here is a Presbyterian church. It's probably the oldest church in Philadelphia.
I see it.
It's on Bob, help me, 21st and
Sansom,
no,
Yeah.
next street,
Chestnut.
Chestnut.
the other direction,
Market.
21st and Walnut.
Ah.
I drew a blank.
Oh, okay.
And this last piece, somebody posted on Facebook, and I only took it because it reminded me of Doris. So I thought maybe she would like to see this because of her work.
Oh,
Yes.
Ah.
I saw that one. Yes.
on Facebook.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
really amazing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where is that? It said on the piece.
Finland.
Yeah, the
Oh,
tree.
you mean
the
it's a real shot? It's not been amplified, like one thing was amplified.
Yeah.
No, it's just beautiful.
We can't know that.
Yeah, those shapes around the tops of the trees look so AI generated.
Yeah, they do a bit, but they're
Yeah.
very pretty.
Well, maybe they're fooling us. Maybe it is AI, but it did say Finland, so.
Well,
The
Well,
sky's different from Kim's photographs.
I assume
Oh,
that's a
yes,
tree
see?
down at the end.
Yeah, it's too mad. Yes. Yeah. I say it's not real.
Yeah, it may
Well,
be AI.
absolutely stunning,
Well,
graphic.
Ted, I think that I mean, Alden. I think the tree was taken. That's a real tree. And I think that you're right, that there's been some
Yeah.
AI amplification of it or whatever.
I would suspect.
Yeah, but I like it. It's a nice
It's really
picture.
beautiful. I'm not saying it's not beautiful. It's just that it doesn't look natural.
Yeah, it
No.
looks perfect.
It's too perfect. It's too
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the mystery will continue. I don't know how.
Great image, though.
Yes.
Great, Ted. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, we're up to Sarah.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm going to share something a little funny for this forum. But last week, Arlene shared her brother. So this week, I thought I'd share my brother and tell you a little. This is my older brother. I only have one brother.
That's all I'm.
That's me.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Okay.
very comfortable together.
Yeah.
Well,
That is
well, I'll
cute.
tell you a story about, first of all, when I was that age, little girls never had short hair like that, but I had had 2 brain operations as a young child, which
Oh,
they never really told me the real story, but my hair was growing in from those operations.
ah,
And the
Mhm.
children used to make fun of me with my short hair.
Sure.
Oh,
I don't know. You look cute there.
Well, I was going to say the same thing. You look very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the children are cruel.
Yeah.
Children are
He's
cruel.
about
Yeah.
7 years older than me. My brother's now 87. And as this little girl, my parents wouldn't buy me a bike. Either they didn't want to or they couldn't afford it. So my brother, who has always, up till this day, can do anything, he got together a million parts and he made me a bike so that I could ride a bike like the other children.
Oh,
Oh,
what a nice.
bravo.
Aren't you lucky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since then he's devoted a lot of his life to antique cars, and he's been in clubs and been, really active with that. And people send him problems with their antique cars, and he solves them and
ah,
has owned several. So that
Wow.
that life, that love of his and that ability continued with him. And he's now 86 and he's healthier than me.
Uh,
God bless him. Wait,
God
I'm going
bless
to.
him. Yeah, God bless him.
Yeah.
You're lucky you have them.
I
Yeah.
am. Yeah. We're not really close, but I am happy to have him in my life, and I do love
Mhm.
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have another one. So this is another more of a personal shot, I guess you could say, as soon as I find it. I think I've sent it to some of you. And this is
Oh,
Oh.
Mhm.
and
Are
that's
you-
my brother and
That's
sister
right.
and mother, and that's little me.
Oh.
Oh, that's your
with your
mother, grandmother.
My
like-
mother's behind me.
I like your bathing suit.
Well, I have to
Yeah.
tell you a little story with this. My sister, to this day, has been upset that they didn't put a larger bathing suit on me. She said, "You were old enough to have a real bathing suit. Why they let you go on the beach half naked is beyond me."
Oh,
Oh,
That's funny.
Oh,
Did it permanently damage you, Sarah?
I don't think so.
You could airbrush the top on.
Yeah, they got
And
you know
the-
what,
Photoshop
Sarah,
now.
I'm glad you had the freedom of being on the beach, as your sister would call it, half naked, because people can't do that. I mean, women can't do that, girls can't do that.
But she's not a woman. She's a little
Well,
girl.
Yeah, I
Kim,
mean, girls,
Kim, there
girls.
are nude beaches.
Yeah.
There are nude beaches that
Yeah,
you
no,
can
I know
go
for
to
the
and be
devotees,
free
but
as you want.
yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is, I'm glad you had that freedom.
Yeah.
Right.
How old is your sister?
My sister is 6 years older than me, and my brother's 7 years older than
Oh,
me.
really? She looks
Ah.
older.
She looks older than your
Yeah,
brother.
exactly. That's why I'm surprised. I
Yeah,
thought she was the oldest.
Well, girls grow up faster than boys anyway.
Oh, that's right. I
yeah,
forgot.
yeah. Then the boys catch up.
Yeah.
And then I came into the world because in the old-fashioned family, my grandmother passed away, and my mother's older sister said, "You must go home and have a baby. We must have a name for mother." So I was born.
Wow. Nice,
That's the
Sarah.
only. I hope they enjoyed it at least.
What does your sister do now, Sarah?
My sister has dementia and cannot do very much.
Sorry
Oh,
to hear that.
Oh,
What did she do as a living?
She was an advocate for parents who had children with mental health difficulties.
Oh,
She was known all over the country, and she was has an amazing life story, an amazing career, and I used to walk down the street and they would think I was her, and they'd say, "Oh, Glenda, thank you so much." And I'd say,
Wow.
yeah, she really, and talk about Italy. She loved Italy better than any other place in the world. She traveled extensively, but she went back to Venice many times and always rented the same apartment. And she would go there for 2 weeks or a month, but she liked to stay in one city for a long time and really experience the life.
Sure.
wow.
Nice.
That's a
very
very
special.
expressive pose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sucking on the glasses, holding your mother's hand,
Yeah.
looking directly at the camera boldly.
Yeah, she
It's a
was
good
bold
pose.
her whole life. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Wow, what
Yes,
a nice photograph.
Yes, she was the best sister in the world. She is the best sister in the world. And I just have one more.
She's very blessed.
Okay. This is a different category. And I hope no one minded
What?
those, just doing the different.
Oh, I love seeing old family.
Yes.
I know.
Family, yeah.
They're great.
Well, I can't find it now, so I'm going to stop sharing. And thank you, everyone, for your patience and interest.
Thank you for showing us those. They're wonderful.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah,
Very
thanks,
nice.
Sarah.
When you find it, you can show it to us next time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so everyone here has shown. Arlene, do you want to add anything tonight?
And
Talk about anything?
hmm?
Do you want to talk about anything?
Talk about anything. Well, I can talk a little bit about airbrushing.
Okay.
We moved to Massachusetts for Jerry's job, and we didn't know a soul there. So of course he was working all day, so I decided to fill the time I'd get a job. So I found this ad in the paper and it was for a photo lab. So I went to try out for it and he asked me, how can I explain this? The photo lab was in one building and the next building was a rooming house and it had one room for the airbrushers. That was me and one other woman. So when you do a photograph, sometimes they're what do you call it? When
Laws.
they
Retouch.
yeah, they would if dust would float on the air, it would get on the photograph, and so you'd get these white dots.
Oh, yeah.
So he explained that to me, asked me if I'd be interested in doing that, and I said no. I said I was not. So I started to get up, and he said to me, I see that you have an art school background. And I said, yeah, I do. And he said to me, well, we have an opening for an airbrusher. And I said, well, I've never done that. And he said, so would you be interested in learning how to do it? So there was one other airbrusher there, and she'd been there quite a while. And so I ended up training with her. And it was kind of a strange situation because we couldn't be in the lab because when you airbrush, you generate a lot of dust. So he put us in a room, in one of the rooms in the rooming house. And it was kind of a little creepy because it was a rundown rooming house. But anyway, I trained with a woman called Millie. And I was amazed at what they could do with damaged photographs. I mean, whole parts of an anatomy could be gone. And they could airbrush it back in. And they used the same kind of paint that I was using at Moore, which was gouache. So once you put glass over it, you wouldn't see the flatness of the gouache would be gone. So I did that for around a year or more. And I just didn't like being in that rooming house. So finally I just gave that up. And at that point I had made some friends, so it was fine. And I took some classes at the Worcester Craft Center. I don't know if you know, in Worcester. And so I kept busy and I did my art, and that was that.
Right.
That was my airbrushing. Yeah.
I worked in an advertising agency in New York City. And
Yeah.
I sat right in the next office was 2R3 photo retouchers.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but in New York City, they were making big money. I mean, that was, I don't know how many years ago, but they were charging $750 for each piece that they did. And that I'm talking.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I have no idea what they charged for this work.
Yeah.
None
She
at
wasn't
all.
freelance. She was working for someone, Ted, but
Yeah.
it's good to know.
Yeah, I was
Depending
working
on-
for a photo lab. I forget the name of it. But then I went on to, some time passed and we moved to Pennsylvania. And my daughter was going to college and I decided to, what could I do to help pay the bills? So my husband suggested that since I knew how to airbrush, that I would do trains, model trains. So I airbrushed them for a while. Jerry set up a room for me in a closet so that we could keep the dust out. So I did that for a while, and the people were interesting.
What did you airbrush on the trains, Arlene?
What'd you say?
What did you airbrush onto the
Oh,
train?
well, because some of the hobbyists would have a certain kind of railroad they were interested in.
Uh-huh.
And so that railroad would have certain colors and certain decals.
Oh, okay.
And so I would paint them, and then when they would dry, I would add the decals.
Wow.
Yeah. And we did a hobby show one time, Jerry and I, and it was interesting. There were not many women in that field doing this.
No.
And the men would come by. Jerry was with me, and the men would come by and they talked to him, not
Yes.
to me.
Yeah.
Ah,
You
So it
have-
was an interesting experiences.
Do you have any images from that period?
No, no,
oh,
no.
That
It
would
was-
be fascinating to see.
yeah, yeah.
Massachusetts I did for company, and the other I did for money. So, and I don't even remember what I charged for that work.
Do you think now there is has it been replaced by technology? In other words, you can digitally remove things. You know what I'm saying? You can the
I
software.
wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I would assume so
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can digitally
That's what you would
remove
use.
stuff. Yes, you can. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
They all use Photoshop now.
Yep, exactly.
yeah. That's right. So that's my story.
I
No,
love
Interesting. Very
Thanks,
interesting.
Arlene.
Interesting.
that was great.
The airbrush has been retired.
Yes, I still have them, but I don't have the
Too.
the machine. Yeah, but I don't want to do it anymore anyway. So
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
you're welcome.
I'm just going to show one or two pieces that I've been working on this week. I go back and forth on different things, and
Yeah.
I have been working on collages again.
Mm.
Oh, there it is. Wow. Okay. So,
Oh,
Oh, that's so interesting.
you know what? I just saw a Magritte, something like this, and I'm not even sure if it was on Alden's page. I'm not sure. Or whether it was at Sotheby's. I don't know.
I did feature a Magritte with a woman coming through a door recently, yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, I love these doorways, and
They are great.
Yes, yes.
the
It's a,
more I do of them, I think it's becoming a series of doorways and windows.
oh, that'd be interesting.
yes, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
like that. Yes.
And
Next,
I think it ties in with the writing I'm doing.
Hmm.
You
The
know,
poetry, you mean?
yeah, yeah.
That is cool.
It makes me think, you know, what is this about? Why am I doing this?
Oh,
love
That
it.
is wonderful. Yes, it's a surreal forest.
yeah. I like that.
Ah,
I'm looking for Tarzan there. So.
It's in the water.
And the big spider or something in the middle.
He's scuba diving.
Yeah,
Oh, scuba diving.
approaching Jane.
That's great. I love that.
I like that.
I do too.
Every day is a doorway.
No,
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
I don't know if I have a window.
Oh, that is nice.
That's so different than the other two.
That, yeah, this is
Yeah.
really,
Yeah,
this is that avant-garde look.
I don't have it. It
You
disappeared.
can't see it, Sarah?
No, it disappeared.
which
No.
one? The chair or
The
The
chair.
last one.
Aha,
You need the current one.
we're still seeing it. Not sure
Yeah.
whether.
Yeah.
Huh.
Can you see it, Sarah?
No, it vanished.
Oh my God, it's really interesting. I'm sorry you can't see it.
okay.
yeah.
That is it for today.
Very interesting, Neela. That
Very-
is very fascinating. You're always breaking new ground. It's never the same old, same old.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
you.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do I have to stop sharing or did it stop?
It's stuff.
It
Stop.
stopped.
Very good. So, Bob, do you have any art news, or do other people have art news?
I have a little art news. I have
Okay,
some art news.
Kim,
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things I used to do in London in the afternoons when there was monsoon rain is find an art gallery that I had not been to, and I haven't been to the Tate Modern. So I very pleased with myself that I found the easiest way to get to the Tate Modern, having just been to Constable Country, and walked across the Millennium Bridge and walked into the Tate. But by that time, I've got to tell you that I'd already walked 3 miles, and so I was kind of a little bit debilitated, I think. I'd have to go back now. Anyway, in that debilitated state, I did see 3 artists that I want to discuss. One is Joan Mitchell. Bob, do you remember way back when we saw Joan Mitchell painting, and
Yeah.
Ken was with us, Ken Kaufman, he didn't like it. And I think the whole group didn't really like her work.
Oh, I did.
But since that time, I've seen a lot of Joan Mitchell's on Sotheby's and places like that, and I kind of grew to like her. Anyway, the room at the Tate was devoted exclusively to Joan Mitchell, and the space was enormous. You understand? It was like bigger than anything I have in this house. It was like a big one in the Tate Modern. And so I'm sorry to have to tell you that I was really not impressed with that she had up there. And the reason was it was an enormous, enormous canvas. A lot of it was just white. And frankly, it looked like she just threw paint at it. I mean, that's how it looked to me. But remember, I'm ignorant. So that's how it looked to me. So I was kind of disappointed by Joan Mitchell at the Tate Modern, which, you know, it's not representative of her entire work. It's just what I saw that day, you know, being rather tired. So the next room was Gerhard Richter, and they had his squeegee works. Again, huge, massive, I would say like 30 feet by 50 feet. I mean, just enormous. Each wall was one Gerhard Richter squeegee thing. And again, I've seen some really good Gerhard Richter squeegees on Sotheby's, and these weren't his best. I'm sorry to be so negative, and probably completely ignorant. I didn't think that they were his best squeegee thing. And the third thing I saw, again, I'm getting even more tired and hungry, was a Mondrian. And it was a small piece painted on a piece of wood. It's one that anyone would recognize. It's white with, you know, lines.
Usual.
I don't know what to say. If I brought that into the plastic club, let's say they didn't, I wasn't Mondrian, I was Kim Scheinbaum, or this Cloudcroft Gallery thing, or anything that I've ever been to, I don't think it would have won anything or been particularly venerated. And I'm not putting down Mondrian's work. I know he was a great artist because I've seen his stuff that isn't, you know, what he later did. So I'm sorry to say that I am presenting you with an ignoramus's view of Tate Modern. Because if you had all of you there, you probably would have loved it. And I'll go back. I'll go back when I'm not tired.
Not necessarily, Kim. Not necessarily.
Well, I mean,
Most modern art is so pointless in my estimation that, you know, it's these huge things that are, like you say, practically all white with a little bit of what else thrown in. I mean, it's really borders on an insult to the intellect of the public, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just.
Well, I certainly agree with you from some of the stuff I've seen, you know, presented for auction at Sotheby's, and you know, I'm glad you don't, you know, that you don't hate me for what I said.
No.
But that's just how I felt, and it was probably because I was tired, exhausted, and wet.
Could be.
Yeah.
That was a great news report. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? No, you know what, Sarah? I think, I mean, I hate to say this, but I do think that the art world, not us, is very pretentious in many ways. So that something will be, because Sotheby's always has Mary McCartney, Paul McCartney's daughter, who interviews someone. And they're all very pretentious, and sometimes it's you know, it's worth being pretentious, and sometimes it's just pretentiousness. And I think I agree with all of them. There's a lot of modern art that just hides behind that veil of pretension.
It's who
But
you
that is the real world. That is the real world, and it's not going to change.
Right.
Right.
Anytime soon.
Yeah. And also celebrity, cheap
Right.
celebrity.
Yes.
And then there's also the whole diversity, uh, uh, which is basically we're going to decide in advance who we want to show, and we'll show them. Yeah.
Yes.
is-
I
this
will
is
be
getting-
eventually showing you a piece with a piece of graffiti. I'm going to present it to you, and it looks to me like Cy Twombly did it in Santa Margarita as a piece of graffiti. Probably as good as.
We're living in the age of celebrity culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody wants to be famous, and the young are particularly hit by it now.
Oh, very much so.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
I won't even mention her name.
And we know who you mean.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
There's so many. To choose from.
Who's
All right,
I'm
so-
sorry, I'm out of that one. I'm still thinking about.
I think Sarah was referring to the Kardashians,
Kardashians, you mean?
Kardashians, yeah.
Oh, the Kardashians.
No, the little singer that's hopping on the sports fellas ride.
Oh, her.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that?
I have some respect for her as a songwriter, but
I'm so out of it. I'm so out of modern culture. I'm telling you.
I have to tell you,
I'm
her
ignorant.
name, her name left me for a minute.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
because I have no clue, but that's because I'm out of the modern.
Neither.
all right. Well, I actually don't have any art news because I have some things I could show, but this has been an interesting discussion. But I've been down with COVID, so
Yeah, right.
and
I'm
I
glad you're
think
better. I hope Janice continues to heal. I'm glad it didn't go into anything major, which just shows that vaccines do work.
Thank
and I
goodness.
think sometimes these have been going on longer. Since we've added the art news, these have been stretching out a little bit, and I think people get tired. So, if just thought I'd see if anybody has any reaction to that. Okay.
Can discuss it next time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Too tired.
All right. Well,
Take
let's
care,
all say
everyone.
good night.
Everyone.
Wait,
Yeah.
Feel better.
Be well,
Bye.
stay well.